Here we go. Well. My friends, my family, my fellow gamers. How many years, how many podcasts have we suffered with Tech Talk? Huh, family? What's up, chat? You know, how many countless of thousands of hours of RDNA 1.5 have we had to put up with? How many weeks, tweets upon tweets of hardware-based ray tracing that we had to deal with? Huh? All you Xbox guys. Huh? All those conversations about performance. Beast that eats monsters. Well-designed, full RDNA 2 hardware. All the lies hearing from these indie devs that worked at PlayStation 15 years ago, saying that they heard rumors that they're having trouble to get indie games like the Echo game, the little dolphin game that shoots saliva. Couldn't even get that at 4K. But it's okay, because PS5 can still have amazing games. It's just going to run that, you know, like the PS4 Pro. Thanos said it best. Listen to Thanos.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Back to me. After all that, we've come full circle. And here we are. My friends, my fellow gamers. This is your boy Porter77, your only friend in these YouTube streets. Back with 100 frames. No lag with VRR. Enabled at 120 hertz podcast. Alright? We're no longer doing cross-gen podcasts. We are now at full next-gen. This is next-gen podcast. Alright? No more cross-gen podcasting. This is full next-gen. You know, and of course I got the crew up here, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, yo, what's going on, Craig?
Hey, what's happening? Had the mute on. Yeah, yeah. What's going on? That Thanos quote was pretty poignant right there. I remember that in the theater. Everybody was like, "Man, yeah, nice."
I know you don't have much time, so we're gonna try to get it quick because I definitely want your takes on this. Project Cloud, welcome back. Thank you for rocking out.
Yeah, I kind of felt like I was an Avenger there with you saying that quote.
Appreciate it. And of course, we got B Staples. My man, the Xbox advocate. I know he's like, hold on a minute, bro. We have VR for 2 goddamn years. And we ain't do this shit.
Yeah, I'm setting out this topic.
You thinking, yo, B Staples, man, I know you like, how we got this shit for 2 years? 2 goddamn years. And Sony in one day, just one goddamn day, they talking 100 frames in these rates. No, I know you like, we gotta have a conversation, somebody. I don't know, B Staples, I don't know who you gotta beat up, but you gotta put some act right. Somebody lied. Somebody lied. I don't know. I ain't gonna say who, but somebody lied. You know, Xbox got VR for 2 you know how many times in almost anything? Oh, but PlayStation got VRR. 2 goddamn, almost 2 years. And Sony in one day pulls this shit off? Bro, we gonna talk about it. And I need to know how you feel. I need to know. I want you to ponder this as we talk topics. Of course, I want your opinions on all topics. But I'm going to ask you, by the end of the show, when the topic comes up, do you feel like you've been fooled? Like, do you feel like they misled you? You know, like false advertisement. Did somebody false advertise something? I want you to ponder that. You know, we'll talk about it. All right? But of course, hey, welcome everybody in the chat. Who we got in the chat right here? We got real quick. We're going to go screen down. We got Sergeant. He's up in here. Mario Heat. Yep, I actually changed the name. Spider Silva. What's up? Gaming Night. The Ruham member. What's good? Hell yeah, we're going to get it. Just be gaming. You know what I'm saying? Carol Anchor was good. Mass Produce, what's up? Who else we got here? Brain was good. You know what I'm saying? You know, Arc War Angel up in here. AC, you know, Advocate, what's good? Terry Henderson, what's up? Enki86 was good. Of course, J-Dub, you know, he's doing big things. I see them conversations working. I see those conversations. Oh, snap. Who else we got down here? There you go. We got Marcus. What's up? Going down. Philip. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Your last name is bugging. Kuvangza. Whoa. Gaming Night was good. Philip. All right. Plus Ultra. CB3. True Bleed. Let's go down. Aziza. What's up? Aziza. I think it's Aziza. Samuel Porter Bridges, what up? And we're going through. Sam Walton, welcome back. I make babies. Okay, Chi-Town Gamer. Guap, you could join. Yo,
I make babies.
My man said, my man straight, I make babies. Yo, Guap, you know you could come up in here any moment. You know, Eastern Conference Gaming, you know, and then here you go Muck 45. And as we going through, I think I got everybody for now. Copy left, Benjamin Wu, and the chat keeps going and going. Hey, hit the like button. We already got 100 people. Please hit the like button. Retweet this out. Put it through whatever social media you got going through. Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Get up in here. This is the newly rebranded 100 Frames No Lag Podcast with VRR at 120 hertz. All right, so we're going to start out with the first topic. And this topic, you know, I'm going to start it off with B Staples. You know what I'm saying? Give them some feel good. B Staples. Yo, shit looking good for Xbox now. You know, they set a new personal record, apparently, at MPD. Almost 500,000 console sales in March. How you feeling about that? What's what's going on here? Almost supposedly double the sales of PlayStation 5? Well, what's good? What the hell is going on here?
It's good news, man. You know, to see that they are still selling, even though they're not even dropping none. That's definitely some good news. I seen that they had their best quarter, their best non-holiday quarter. Yeah. So you know it's up and up for Xbox, man. They doing the best they've ever done in 4 generations.
You think there's a little faith? Like, what is it? Is it Game Pass? Is Game Pass trending? Is that what it is? People want to play Tunic?
You want me to be honest? It's 100% Game Pass because they're not dropping no games. So what else is it? It got to be Game Pass. Game Pass is giving them goodwill and word of mouth and people buying the console. Because it's not because of the games, because they're not dropping none. So
okay. Damn, you keep
it's Game Pass.
This is why I fucks with you, B Staples. This is why I fucks with you.
I keep it a buck. You know me.
This is why I fucks with you. So what you think out of both systems? You think it's the Series S that's really pushing the charge over the Series X, or do you think there's an equal balance? What's your? I know there's no factual information about that, right? But in your opinion, what do you think is the driving force? You think that the Series S is really, you know, people are like, yo, you think the fundamental, because a lot of people assume Series S at being $299, maybe go down to $250, and Game Pass is a huge seller for some people because it could get people, you know, just buy stuff for their kids, or it could be a complimentary console because it's so cheap and accessible. What do you think? Or do you think what's going on? What's your opinion? You think Series S?
I think it's like a good. I think it's both. Like okay. I think if I don't as like you said, we don't have the sales numbers, but I think if like we were to get those, I think it would be around even. Okay. I mean, I think the hardcore is going for the X and the casual is going for the S. Okay. So I think it's about even, honestly.
So you think it was smart for Microsoft to create something for the casuals or for people that want a secondary console? Like, you know what? I'm not going to invest in the Series X, but I could cop a Series S and, you know, play these onesies and twosies and maybe sign up for Game Pass. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Even I'm not gonna buy the S. I already have an X. I'll never buy the S. Right. I think it needs to be like more powerful, but for what it does, and the casual market that's playing it, like little kids, they don't care about none of that. So
for hardcore gamers like you, though, it's dog shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 100%.
Okay, all right. Hey, so let me ask you this. Because it's outselling PlayStation so far, right? Now, do you think it's because they're gaining momentum over PlayStation? Or do you think Sony fucked up big time that they just can't get them, they can't get the product out on the street? What do you think?
I think it's both. I think Sony definitely need to get their shit together with stock, but I do think that Xbox is having a lot of goodwill, a lot of good word of mouth right now. I mean, you compare this to last gen, and it's night and day. Like last gen, you know what I'm saying? You don't even got to go through it. Like y'all was there.
Oh no, everybody. No, so everybody's admitting that now. Even Tim Dog. Now everybody realizes Xbox One gen sucked.
No, wait.
Wait. Listen, you realized it. Everybody else, but like I said, most Xbox dudes don't keep it real like you. Everybody else now, all of a sudden, oh my god, Xbox didn't have games. I'm like, oh yeah, now. But if I would, but 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when we tried to say it while it was happening, oh no, we're fanboys, fucking ponies. I'm like, oh boy.
Nah, that Xbox gen was horrible, horrible gen. Thank God we out of it. I think they should leave that gen in the dust. I think they should have put a Nintendo pivoted. You see what Nintendo did with the Wii U?
They shut that shit down after 4 years.
Shut that shit. They said nope, we gonna try again. That's what I think Xbox should have did. But fast forward to now, they doing good, man. I'm happy for them. They doing good, doing the best they ever did, man. You just gotta get some games, man. Gotta get some games.
Okay, all right, appreciate it. All right, so Craig, what's going on here, bro? Are you part of Xbox? Because you are the voice of Xbox. Have they finally listened to you?
Xbox in March or April of last year, Microsoft came out and said that they thought they would meet their demand in the fall of 21. So I think you have a combination of a bunch of things happening. One is they do have stock in stores. Number two, you still can't find PlayStation. It's getting better. It is getting better. PlayStation, if the charts are to be believed, PlayStation outsold Xbox in Europe 2-1. If the charts are somewhat accurate. But it's just going to take them getting stock back in the store, not just with these things. AMD is making the Steam Deck. They're making, laptops, gaming laptops. They're making, their own GPUs and CPUs. So maybe they bit off a little more than they could chew. But they're getting rocked. It's just the end of April and they have not dropped any games, since Halo, which Halo flopped by their own number designations, gamer numbers. I won't say it's a dead game, but they struggling. MLB The Show, think like you said, Puerto Rock, MLB The Show is being played more than Halo Infinite. Mm-hmm. And that is somebody else coming into your house and banging your wife in front of you. When they can do that. So, but I think it's a combination of stock, demand, which is lower than Sony. And they do have some goodwill. They went into the community and they gave away free shit. Let's just keep it a buck. They gave away chairs and towels and underwear and, got, have a feel good story now. So I'm glad for them. I'm happy that it is like this, but I'm just saying they're still getting mopped. But it's just, like B Staples said, the last generation was so bad that anything would have been better. So, and I agree, we got to get some games. I'm waiting on. They did a thing today on Starfield about sound. Now I'm a sound guy. I play drums, but come on, man. That's pretty much all I can say. Come on,
okay.
Sound.
We do some super chats. We got 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. He said they counting.
The disrespect, man.
He said they counting the Xbox Series S, Series X as one unit. PS5 is sparse. Oh, snap. Then, of course, Lionel, the man, he said, let's keep it real. 80% Series console sold is the S because there's way more in stock. That's what's inflating their console sales. Oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit.
They're still selling, but people in the United States, everybody got their taxes back. And like a friend of mine was saying, he can go to his wife and say, yeah, I'm gonna take $300. And she may just kind of raise her eyebrow, but you try to go in there and drop half a stack, you may be on the couch. You're gonna be in the doghouse. So give them credit that the Series S is doing exactly what they thought, which is it's just a easier way. It's digital. It's small. Doesn't take up a lot of space. So give them credit, that it's doing what it was supposed to do. But yeah, I just think overall the stock issue, which is partly on AMD and partly on Sony, they just have to do a better job, because as soon as the PS5 comes out, like as soon as it goes online, it's gone. So, and
but they only do 10.
What now?
They only provide 10.
Well, yeah, that's my point. Is there's a stock issue. Sony does have to get that better. Before my understanding was it was going to get better by the end of summer. But shout out to Benji Sales, he just dropped some knowledge saying that there could be some more constraint in the supply chain over the next 90 days. Have to wait. I hope he's wrong, but that man's information is pretty spot on. So I hope he's wrong, because there's people who really do want a PS5. It's really difficult for people to see these games out and they can't go enjoy them. Like, why go buy a new TV? Why should I buy a Sony TV if I can't hook a PS5 up to it? There's all kind of different sprinkles on the cookie that's going on. So I agree with B Staples overall. They got to do better with the supply, but that's not all on Sony. That is also on AMD.
Okay. All right, Project Cloud.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I think once again, Xbox, the best box.
Ouch.
No, it's not. But here's what I'm going to say. Props to them for having a good quarter, with revenues being up. So that's good for the business and that's good for gaming. Because honestly, I mean, granted, people like to make fun of stuff, but you know what? Let's be high class. Let's not rejoice when one of our is the platform we don't play or the platform we don't prefer to play as much, loses. That's not actually winning for us. Yeah. Winning is actually when we all are successful together, and you actually get to be, better competing. You don't want a competitor that just is miles behind. That's not fun. That's not engaging. So when we all win, it's better for the consumer. It's better for the industry. So yeah, looking forward to more success. And, I know Craig kind of poo-pooed on the Starfield video, which I've yet to see yet, but I'm looking forward to watching that, because I love, behind the scenes stuff, creates engagement, especially if you have a lot of interest in how the development process works. I think it's great that they're putting this stuff out. So, we'll wait for that grand debut probably in June. So, that's something to look forward to.
Right. Now listen here, Project. I'm the goddamn commander-in-chief of this war. All right, I do not profit off a peace. All right. I am part of the military-industrial complex, and it does not profit in peace. Or I'm playing. No, you're absolutely right. Xbox is having a good month. So maybe they're changing.
I got a hot take too. A hot take
about this topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna throw this in.
I got two. Well, okay. One's not really a hot take.
Okay.
But one is, I think this will be the longest console generation, just because of the circumstances and stuff. And I think that the Series XS outsells the 360. Is that a hot take?
You think it's gonna sell 80 million or over 80 million?
I do. In a long generation, I do. In a longer than usual, I do.
Interesting.
If they get the if they could correctly integrate Activision and Call of Duty and all that shit, I definitely think they touch 80 million.
Interesting. It could be because they did it before. Yeah.
Now, granted,
they did it when PlayStation really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? The $600 behemoth that played Blu-rays, people weren't feeling that. A lot of people left PlayStation 2 and got a 360. Interesting.
But both of them can sell good. It doesn't have to be one of them sells bad and both of them can sell good. I don't see.
But like we said though, like I was saying, right? There's potential that the Series S could be looked at as a secondary console. So even if you bought a PS5, people could be like, you know what? I'm not gonna buy the Series X because I'm not buying, because I already have, the Beast, the true Beast that eats monsters. But I could fucks with a Series S to play these games that aren't on PlayStation and Game Pass. So that's a good alternate solution that you don't have to invest a lot of money into. And that's pretty smart.
Yeah, and the series that's probably gets like a price cut in like a year or two anyway. So
Especially if it drops to like 200
yeah, and they start bundling it with games
or $150.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I'm saying.
cheap.
Like,
So it's possible.
Yeah,
It's possible.
So I'm saying.
It's possible. You know, I mean, Xbox is still dog shit though, but it's possible. All right,
Oh,
so
brother.
I'm playing. Hit the like button. All right, but hey, let's talk about the next topic. We're gonna talk about what's the next topic. Oh yeah, we gonna hit it. We got 188 viewers. Hit the like button. We're gonna talk about PlayStation VRR. PlayStation VR. Let me get the direct blog quote. Let me get the direct blog quote. Yeah, let me put up this screen first. Wait, no, not that one. There we go. Boom, we're gonna put that one. And then let me pull up PlayStation. Wait, give me a second. PlayStation blog VR. Let me see. All right, here we go. So this was a day ago. This was the article, the blog post was a day ago, right? Oh, now Windows ain't trying to play. See, Phil Spencer out here. You better stop playing, Phil. All right. So this was April 25th. This was yesterday. Variable refresh rate supported for PS5 is rolling out this week. It says, today we're excited to announce that variable refresh rate will will start rolling out globally to PS5 players this week. On HDMI 2.1 VR compatible TVs and PC monitors, VR dramatically syncs the refresh rate of the display to the PS5 console's graphical output. This enhances visual performance for PS5 games by minimizing or eliminating visual artifacts such as frame pacing issues and screen tearing. Gameplay in many PS5 titles feels smoother as scenes render seamlessly, graphics look crispy, and input lag is reduced. Previously released PS5 games can be fully optimized for VR through a game patch, and future games may include VR support at launch. In the coming weeks, PS5 versions of these titles will receive game patches enabling VR support. Astro's Playroom, Call of Duty Vanguard, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Deathloop, Destiny 2, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Dirt 5 Godfall, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, and Tribes of Midgard. These are just a few of the PS5 titles receiving VRR support, and we like to thank their talented development teams. Please stay tuned to their channels for updates, as you'll have the best experience with VR once their game patches are live. All right, and then it goes into other details. So let me say this, right? So VR has been a topic for the last year or so, primarily because of the head-to-head, right? You know, some games from Digital Foundry ended up better on PlayStation 5. And the quick damage control was, oh, but you don't got VRR. So the VR takes this game running at 40 frames. It makes it feel like 60. They come, Xbox comes with the whole craziness, right? Okay. And we all can admit that was one of PlayStation's Achilles heel, right? The chinks in the armor, lack of VR support. I mean, there's still other stuff, 1440p support for monitors, Dolby Vision. So there's still a few more things. But VRR was like a big one, right? People are wondering, what's up with VRR? Should have it, whatever. So now that PlayStation has VR, right? In just one day, Insomniac updates Miles Morales, or I'm sure they already did update it. They did all the work already. But once this came out, Insomniac made this official statement. All of our PS5 titles and all of our PS5 titles, they're talking about Insomniac themselves, their own specific games. All of our PS5 titles support VRR, variable refresh rate, as of today, with the latest game and system updates. Because our titles are already built to have very stable frame rates, the main effect the VRR system setting will be to slightly increase dynamic image resolution targets. However, if your TV also supports 120Hz high frame rate input and the 120Hz display mode option is active, along with VRR, you will get a variable uncapped frame rate that can exceed your chosen graphics modes, 30 or 60 FPS target, by 50% or more, and in quotes, depending on gameplay. So a user, I don't know who the user is, he tested it out on Spider-Man Miles Morales in Ray Tracing Performance mode, with these settings that Insomniac says you could get uncapped frame rates. And he is claiming, because of what the screen is showing, that the game is running over 100 FPS gives a take, right? So what's being pushed out now is Miles Morales in ray tracing performance mode is running up to 100 frame rates. Now, I have some friends, some developer friends, they grounded me because I was about to karate chop. I'm still going to karate chop because there is a hot take I got on this, but we're going to talk about this topic. He said, be careful because he said, wait for NX Gamer, I think his name is, right? Digital Foundry, because there could be potential that the screen is just registering the inserted frames and not the actual frames of the game itself. And the only reason why there may be a little skepticism of being that high. Now, he's not arguing that you could get better frame rate performance. Like, for example, if the ray tracing performance was 60, yeah, it might go up to 68 or 69 or 70, right? He's not arguing that. He's not arguing that.
69.
You know what? You like that number, right? But he's not arguing that there's potential you can have some boost in frame rates. He's just skeptical at the 100 FPS claim, because now you're talking about budgets within the frames, and at ray tracing is very expensive in terms of budget, right? And there's a video that talks about that. Digital Foundry made a great video talking about trying to insert ray tracing within the budget of each second. It was pretty in depth. So I understood what he was talking about because I remember that video when they were talking about, how was how Insomniac, and they used Miles Morales, was able to get, ray tracing at 60 frames, all that stuff, right? So that's why he's skeptical, right? But he's not doubting that you could get at uncapped potentially better frame rates, just maybe not as high as 100 frames, right? So I want to start out with this. I'll start out with Craig, all right? Because this is just in one day, boom, out the block. PlayStation got VRR, and now we're showing potential massive improvements besides just screen tearing, whatever. What do you think about this, Craig? What's going on? Let me know.
I thought it was really nice the way they did it. They just came out and said, "Yep, here you go. Get off our tip." And so as far as I played Resident Evil Village, and turned off VRR and turned it on, and it did feel better with VRR on. If this felt like it had a smoother flow. Now maybe it was a placebo effect, and but it did feel better. It's hard to explain when I was playing it. I told people you have to experience it. It's like the red pill in the Matrix. So there's other issues. A lot of people don't have the TVs to support this. Okay. I was told that's one reason why Sony waited. Sony's on TVs didn't support this. So why would they put out a peripheral device that did something that their own TVs did not support? You're going to go out and buy another TV. You will go get that LG.
That's a good point.
You'll get that Samsung.
That's a good point.
As far as the gameplay, though, I agree that I'll simply say it does feel better, at least on Resident Evil 8. I'm all for independent verification. NX Gamer, shout out to him. He does great work. So I'm sure he'll have a video out by this weekend, is what I'm guessing. But it's better. Like you just said, it could go from. But the mere fact that you can go ahead and do something and have a $400 home console doing hardware ray tracing, and possibly doing 60, 70 frame, whatever per, that alone with ultra graphics, high to ultra graphics, that alone is amazing for me personally, who grew up playing Atari 2600. I never thought when I'm sitting there playing Asteroids, I'd see something like this. So, it is better. I do, again, healthy skepticism. Yes. I'll simply close by, I'm glad to see people are excited, but wasn't Sony going in the wrong direction? Didn't we get that, a few months ago? There were people crying. Now everybody's happy. So there's, like I said, just hypocrisy all around. So, But yeah, great job by Sony. Mark Cerny with the Geometry Engine, phenomenal, great job. Hats off to Insomniac, and hopefully more develop. We see more games signing up to use it. But great job by them.
Okay. Project, what do you think about this? Implementation VRR, and within one day, you see, instead of what VR basically does, which is screen tear, whatever, they're trying to take advantage and give you great performance enhancements. What do you think about that?
Well, for one, I think Insomniac are just absolute wizards at doing what they do. I mean, you have like
they are
3
taking
titles
over.
already.
They are taking over. I mean, they're gonna outclass Naughty Dog at this rate.
You know what? I'm gonna say it this way. Like, I really do think that. I mean, I still think Naughty Dog is gonna have the best titles overall. But man, you can't deny the fire that Insomniac has. Man, they were there day one. With Miles Morales. Only a few months later, relatively speaking, you have a true PS5 exclusive with Ratchet and Clank. That's still the definitive PS5 game as far as I'm concerned. And then they also put out Spider-Man Remastered. Yes. So 3 hot titles. Spider-Man back in 2018 is like that's my game of the year personally. Just absolutely incredible. When they do that story, that's Naughty Dog level quality storytelling as far as I'm concerned. Excellent. Kind of main quest, let's say. Sure, the side quests could be better for sure. Go to Red Dead Redemption 2 if you want, great side quests, for example. But yeah, excellent, main story to complete. Great cutscenes, incredible story. Can't wait to see Spider-Man 2. Can't wait for Wolverine.
Oh.
But let's bring it back to VRR. Again, shout out to Insomniac. You guys are doing great. Can't wait to see how you're going to continue to evolve technology for the industry. Yeah, it's great that PlayStation, is finally giving us, parity with, what Xbox already has, for example. So again, like you've talked about.
Is it parity though?
Well, not utter parity.
Or do you think PS5 kind of like took the lead?
Well, okay. Well, in the sense of obviously, Xbox first had VRR. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now, over a year into the generation, we finally have VRR, and yet it's only with a limited number of games so far. Let's be honest about it. But hey, it's finally arriving, so you'll start to see more consistency. So, like you've talked about before, with features, you can always quote unquote copy them and bring them over to your system at some point. It might be delayed, but guess what? You can always do it.
So it's funny because there's this YouTuber, Twitter, right? And this dude said the most prolific thing. Like, this dude is smart as fuck. He said that, hey, features can be copied, but great games need to be nurtured. And I was like, yo, this dude is he's a smart dude. You know who that dude was? Me.
No.
Me. Oh. I said that. I said that shit. Okay. Features, and you know what? Because features, when you think about it, features can be copied because it's ones and zeros. It's not like it's a secret, right? It's not abstract. It's not, subjective. Like if somebody says, hey, we implemented, quick resume. All right, quick resume. Oh, we see the technology? Yeah, just copy that information. Boom. Like haptic feedback. It's not an abstract concept. It's a subjective 1 to 0 thing. So Microsoft could easily create, haptic feedback because it's not a subjective thing. You know what I mean? But game creation is very subjective. The storylines, how you want to make the gameplay. Now, sure, the subjective will become objective as you start actually developing, but it may not end up the game that you really wanted in your head. You understand what I'm saying? So great games need to be nurtured, but features, anybody could copy a feature. You could just duplicate it, and that's just pretty much it. Let me get to B Staples, but first a little intermission. Games Over Brian, thank you for the super chat. He says shout out Rock in the panel. Question for you, Rock. Is Show Night full show? Is it Show Night? Is Show Night full show, or is it DLC when upgrading FSS remake, or do trophies pop up automatically? I almost forgot about that. Yo, okay. Game Over. I forgot. What's going on, brother? He always he was asking that question all the time. Okay. Anyway, intermission before I get to B Staples, because B Staples need to answer some questions. Hit the like button. We got over 200 viewers. Truly appreciate it. Thank you for rocking out. Rocking out with the fam, with the panel. You know what I'm saying? Membership is live. If you want to rock out with the family, truly appreciate it. But the only thing I will ever ask of you guys is just to come to the channel, enjoy the content, hit the like button, let people know to come through. Truly appreciate it, right? So we're going to be staples. Be staples.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man. You're gonna have to bear the burden of the cross. That's just how it is. Somebody has to bear the burden, right? So let me ask you this. Let me be nice. Hold on. How can I present this? Let me ask you this. Yeah, okay. So you got your Xbox Series X day one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Before you bought it, right? What were you hearing about it? All those months before it, did you listen to podcasts? Did you listen to conversations? Like, what, before you actually got that sucker in November 2020, what were you hearing about it?
I was hearing about the T-flops.
T-flops. And what message was being conveyed to you? Like, what were they trying to tell you? Well, like, these Xbox influencers, news articles, breakdown with Jason, what's his name? Jason Ronald, all that stuff. What message did they send to you?
That the Xbox X got 12 and the PlayStation got 10. Something like that.
And what was supposed to get out of that? Like, what was the result? Like, what result they try to say because of this is what you're gonna get when it's all said and done in terms of multiplats.
Oh, we would get the better multiplats.
You're gonna get the better multiplats, right?
Yeah.
And it's just gonna feel and play better.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get the PS4 Pro version because nobody wants that. It's fine because Sony exclusives are top tier, but the multiplats, if you want the best, you gotta get an Xbox Series X, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, shout out to Warlock Dog. He joined the family now as a channel member. You know what I'm saying? Nation come through. Truly appreciate Warlock Dog. Welcome to the family. Right? So now let me ask you this. Oh, another super chat. Hold on. I'm going to get back to you, Staples. 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse? Yeah. But why can't we have both, though? Can't have both what? What's 4 Horsemen talking about?
I am not sure.
All right.
Does he mean the Xbox and the PlayStation?
Oh, of course you can have both. I
have both.
Yeah, you can have both. It's like having 2 kids, but one of them's disappointing you. But you can still have 2 kids. Yeah, okay. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna find out. Garuda Legends. He says, where's Xbox VR or Xbox handheld? Brother man, whoa, slow down, Garuda, slow down. They're still working on their console. Garuda,
they better not never make no handheld.
They still need to work on their console, so let's slow down. Let's not go there. Right? Feels like if I'm buying an Xbox, I'm buying a cheap Chinese replica at the casino. Oh snap! You know what I'm saying? But hey, dead the handheld. Like they still got to work on their console. So now, all right. So you got your Xbox Beast of East, right? Got VR. VRS, tier 2, tier 3, whatever goddamn tier. 12 T-flops of raw, unrestricted power, right? And PlayStation hurting. PlayStation hurting. Don't even got Dolby Vision. Still fucking around with VRR for years. And Sony's like, hey, we finally got VR. And they're like, oh, okay, welcome to the club. And then in one day, boom! Miles Morales. Potentially ray tracing at 100 frames. And supposedly, if you play in fidelity mode, which is running at 30 frames, it could boop up to anywhere 40 to 50 frames in full 4K fidelity with ray tracing. And because of VRR, you won't get the jittery or whatever because the game's running at 50. How does that make you feel when you look at your Xbox? Like when you stare at your Xbox, right? Think of them as your 2 children. You got your PS5 and you got your Xbox. Your PS5 came home with an A-, and your Xbox came in with 2 Fs. What do you do? Like, what do you do right now? Like, what are you saying to yourself?
I think that Insomniac is bailing out the PlayStation 5, man. They bailing them out. Insomniac, that's their only studio doing that shit. They bailing out Sony. They bailing out PlayStation at this point, man. Gotta be honest.
Are you hoping that Bethesda could be half as good as Insomniac? Like somebody do what they do.
You mean technically?
Like yeah, like on the technical level. Like somebody grab some tools and take care of this shit. Like somebody. Ninja Theory.
It won't be.
Like
I
Ninja Theory, Activision.
or Coalition, but I don't think it'll be Bethesda. That ain't they wheelhouse. I ain't focused on that shit.
How about 343? You think 343 could do it?
Oh man.
But somebody, right? Like, who's our Insomniac, right? You gotta be. Are you thinking about that? Like, yo, who the fuck is our Insomniac right now? Like, who's gonna make the Xbox Series X look great? Like the way Insomniac's making. So you're right. You kind of right. Insomniac, in my opinion, is showing other developers. Y'all can talk y'all shit, but the PS5 is capable of doing this because we doing it. So if we doing it, I don't know why
everyone else is capable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If we could do it, that's on y'all. If y'all ain't doing it, I don't know what's going on in your house.
Yeah. It gotta be Hellblade 2 or the Coalition next game, bro. As far as technical, like Playground already dropped, so we're not getting nothing from them for a minute. Like it gotta be Coalition or Hellblade 2. Yeah. As far as a technical level,
Theory,
like straight
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory or Coalition, yeah, one of them.
Oh snap! Now, look at this. So Project Cloud mentioned that PlayStation now got parity, but is it really parity? Listen. You know Jay-Z's line when he talked to Nas. You made it a hot line, but I made it a hot song. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, man.
Do you get a sense? Like, yo, Xbox made it a hot line, but goddamn, Sony's making it a hot song.
I just gotta see more studios. Like I gotta.
It can't just be Insomniac and Spider-Man.
It can't just be Insomniac. It can't just be them. It can't just be them. I gotta see more.
Let me ask you this: what if 2 weeks from now, whatever, Guerrilla announces the same thing? Like, hey, we just updated Horizon Forbidden West. You can now play it at unlocked frame rates and fidelity modes up to 100 frames in performance mode, or we created a ray tracing performance. Let's say they started doing Insomniac-like things. Would that impress you?
Especially, 100%.
Oh, shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Now, let me ask you this. From a tech perspective, who's really, like, looking good and making their console look good on a technical level? Is it between Xbox Series? Like, who's really representing next gen? So far.
Insomniac. I won't even say.
You're not giving PS5 no props. You just said Insomniac.
Not.
So you said Insomniac was on Xbox. They would have been doing it there.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Insomniac. That's it. Case closed.
Oh shit. So that was the Derek Jeter. That was the Michael Jordan draft pick.
Yeah, basically.
They picked up. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So good topic. Hey. So on my point, this is some of the things I just want to bring out. I don't want to go too hard, right? So there was a developer, I think I mentioned already. They have, especially him, but I will say his name. He says, just be skeptical, wait for NX Gamer and Digital Foundry to really get into detail with proper equipment. There's potential that the 100 frames being exaggerated. We'll just see. But if anything, though, even if it's not the full 100 FPS, right? Obviously, we could talk out trash, right? Let's say, because of this, let's say, for example, in full fidelity mode, you're able to get, instead of 30 frames or 40 frames, you get to 50, 55-ish frames, right? At full 4K, at full ray tracing, the full fidelity. That's amazing. Even at 50 frames on the VRR, it's going to look great. A lot smoother experience as compared to Cap 30. That's impressive. Those are improvements that actually you can see and feel and play when you're playing these games. So hopefully, whatever Insomniac's doing, they spread the love and knowledge and wealth, and they get it going. But I think that's fantastic. But we gotta wait and see actual, true, how would you say, evaluation or inspection or testing. And I trust NX Gamer. He's really good. And even Digital Foundry, they do a really good job. So we'll see what's going on. Garuda Legends. He says, I'd rather jump third leg or face first into lava than buy another Bethesda game. God damn. Nah, fam. I don't like broken stuff. Oh, shit. Garuda ain't playing. He says, nah. Now, I like certain Bethesda games. I love the Fallout games. I love Elder Scrolls. I'm not going to lie. I love those two franchises. Yes. Are they rough? Absolutely. But I still love the shit out of them. So, I'm gonna definitely play them. All right. So next topic. I'm gonna start off with Project Cloud on this one, right? Well, it's between Project Cloud and B Staples, okay? It's just a simple question, and what inspired me for this question was a Forbes article. So it's just an inspiration. This is not factual knowledge. I'm not trying to say this is factual knowledge. I just want an opinion, okay? Do you think it's time to fire 343 and put Halo in the hands of another developer? Do you think it's over? Like they had enough, and they're just not doing justice with the franchise, Or do you think still give them a chance? We'll start with Project Cloud. What do you think? Do you think it's time to, Microsoft needs to really reevaluate 343 and how they run their business practices and the people that they got and put Halo in the hands of somebody else? Or do you think, nah, give them a chance,
Good question. So,
what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think to an extent, Microsoft has continually been in the process of reevaluating 343 throughout its lifespan. Mm-hmm. And granted, it does have Bonnie Ross. I think she was there from the beginning and as the head of 343. Mm-hmm. But they did, for example, through Halo Infinite, go through a bit of leadership change. Mm-hmm. I think it's Joseph Staten, if I'm saying that right, is now in charge of Halo Infinite. So they've already realized that they had to go through at least some level of management changes because things just weren't happening as they should behind the scenes. And granted, things are still a little bit rough. Even Brad Sams, who's kind of a big Xbox guy, put out a video recently. He was like, yeah, Halo Infinite, yeah, he's really worried about it.
Okay.
So here's the thing, though. I would say that 343 should not be, for example, put to bed. Because if you do that, granted, you could just say, yeah, let's just have id Software work on Halo. Here's the thing, though. I think id Software wants to work on Doom, Quake, and, new IPs or something, or Rage or something.
They don't want to take over.
They necessarily want to work on Halo.
Okay.
Not that they necessarily wouldn't be willing to, or even interested or excited to, but I just think they have their own things. And here's what I would say. Granted, 343 is a gigantic developer, and I definitely don't think it's gotten the value that Microsoft would have loved to have had. They, of course, wanted it basically to be Bungie, but just continued under a new name. But I would say that if there's any particular person that just isn't doing a good job developing Halo, well, they can always be like, yeah, you're not performing, so we have to let you go.
Okay.
So I think the way you can totally keep 343 intact, but just have an internal review if that hasn't already got it. Not that I think it's even really needed. But
so don't close down the whole studio. Just get rid of the people who ain't really pulling their weight, or they're just not living up to the expectations.
Exactly. And if anything, it's probably not an individual employee thing. The individual employees, they're probably doing their jobs as they're told in most situations, if not, vast majority. It's probably more of a leadership thing. And, maybe Bonnie Ross needs to go, for example. I'm not advocating for that, but, if the games you've released, Master Chief Collection, Halo 5, Halo Infinite, and Halo 4 was their first game, and that was probably the best one, at least as far as the campaign is concerned. Mm-hmm. So, something just isn't working.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, B Staples.
Yo.
All right. So, before I get to you, little intermission. Shout out to the chat. I'm seeing the conversations. Hit the like button. All right. We're going to keep it going. So, B Staples. Question.
Yo.
Should we put 343 out in the pasture and get rid of them like old Yella? Do you think it's time to put them out of their misery? So Project Cloud is nice, but you this, I know this is personal. This means something to you. You love Halo, you love Xbox, so you got stake in this. You understand what I'm saying? This is your brand. This is who you fucks with. Is it time? Is 343, do they have rabies? And it's time to just, get the shotgun and put them out of their misery. Like, or do you give them a chance? Like, what's going on? How do you feel? Now, keep in mind, this is Halo on the line. Halo's on the line here. What do you think?
This is tough. It's tough because when you think about it, right? You have a flagship franchise. You saying to take them off and put another one on, but as Project said, you don't know if it even wants to do that.
Okay.
And making a Halo game is very difficult. You got to deal with a fan base that's basically never satisfied. They complain about everything.
Facts.
You have immense pressure because now you're working on a flagship for a platform, so you have to deliver.
Right.
Like, it's real difficult to just take them off and just put another studio on.
Okay.
And you need a lot of people that want to do it. I don't know if people. It's hard to make a Halo game, but
you think other developers? You think other developers like, nah, you ain't gonna get me fired. I ain't touching that franchise.
I don't think developers want to touch it, bro, because it's just too hard to satisfy. The community complains they complain about things like, trust me, I get it. Some shit definitely need to be complained about, but there's some shit that's like, come on, bro. Like, why are we complaining about that? Like, that is nothing. And the community is really difficult to satisfy. It's like Call of Duty level. So it's, I definitely think that you fire Bonnie Ross, 100%. That's a change I do. I get rid of management.
So you say, hell yeah, fire her.
Yeah, 100%. Because I don't think that there's anything wrong with like the workers, like that, the devs and the, you know, the gameplay animators and shit. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. The problem is management. I don't think they know anything about games or Halo. Bonnie Ross and whoever's next in line behind her, they gotta go. Okay. But I'm not just gonna like fire 700 developers or whatever number they got and call it a day. I'm not gonna do that. I think that sets a bad precedent, and it's a lot of bad. Like, I think that's just too bad. But I'm definitely firing Bonnie Ross. She gotta go. She got to go. She sucked, bro. She sucked. She gotta go.
So you cut off the head. Go. Start with the top.
Yeah, bro. Get someone else.
You know, don't go after the blue collar workers. You know what I'm saying? Go after the corporate top. The devs. Okay.
Keep the devs. They want to work on this. They want to work on it. Get rid of Bonnie Ross. She don't know what she's doing, bro. She had 20 chances. Let her go. Let it go and get someone else in there. But I am keeping 343, but getting rid of that management. That's what I would do.
All right, hit the like button. Yo, Warlock God channel member, he said basically get rid of the Halo fans, game devs at 343, and just hire regular good game dev, because the Halo game devs are still trying to make it be like used to be and not improving it. Interesting point.
Here's what I want to say though, like, you know, I don't want to be the person that blames the individual workers, that because I have to assume that they put in as good as work as anybody else does, generally speaking. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, why aren't the graphics of Halo Infinite, you know, a lot better than what they are? And it's like, you know,
that's a good question, because they have a new engine. It's the Slip Space engine.
Yeah.
So what did the Slip Space engine actually do?
Bad management. Like, see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a whole new engine specifically for this game is built for this game. It wasn't like it's built for multi-platform or like multiple games. I mean, they probably could use it, right? But they specially did it for this game. You know, I'm pretty sure if somebody else within, you know, Microsoft Studios.
It was supposed to be the engine of dreams, but that ain't no engine of dreams.
I mean, hell, they should have used the Dreams game to build Halo. Probably would have looked better.
Oh, man. If you compare that E3 2018, you know...
That tech demo of Slip Space?
Oh, bro.
Not even close. It's not
right?
Nowhere near... Well, because it did look good. That little tech demo of Slip Space, I was like, holy shit. This engine's going to be... Like, that's the point. You demonstrate a new engine, you're going to see the possibilities. Like, holy shit, that's going to be something. Boy, and then we got Craig. Bruh.
Damn. See, now that I'm thinking about it, like, damn, we did get Craig. It might be the developers too, bro.
You know, Beastie was like, hold on, we might have to add some names on this list. He's like, like Bonnie wasn't responsible for Craig. Like somebody, like who,
developer.
Like who designed that? Someone made Craig. Who made Craig? They be like, I made Craig. Good, you're fired.
Yeah, yo, it's tough, bro. I don't know what they do.
Halo Infinite for what it was worth.
Cloak Onyx. Shout out, super chat. Halo 5 had false marketing. Remember the trailers? Master Chief and Rags walking in the desert. Spartan Locke versus Master Chief and vice versa. Oh, yeah. Could be just a change of story, but, yeah, good point. You know? But it's just, you know, it's just... I always said that, I never said, you know, I mean, of course, I'm lying. I did joke about 343 being trash. But I always said in a serious tone, to me, 343 is an average dev. The problem is, they're in charge of a game that is above their weight, in my opinion.
Yeah, you got to be great, and they not great.
You can't be average. You know, you can't be average and be responsible for IP like Halo. They could have had any other, like if you take those same devs and rename them 434, you know, whatever, 434 LLC, and they made a brand new IP, they probably would have been fine. They would not have whatever. But having and being responsible for Halo, yo,
too much on each other, man.
You know, it's like you know, it's like a baseball player, an average baseball player going to the Yankees. Is just the pressure's too high. You could play for any other team and people appreciate you. But you go to Yankees and you be average, you're gonna get fucking ragged on. You understand what I'm saying? And I see Halo as something that's above their weight class.
Do you know what's a crazy thing?
You need a great dev behind that game to meet the demand of that game.
And I got another hot take. I don't even think that current Bungie would be able to handle Halo. I don't. Not current Bungie, because I didn't like Halo Reach, and that was the last game they made. Like, I seen the trajectory they were going on, and I didn't like it, and then 343 just went on with that trajectory, because a lot of people that worked at 343 worked at Bungie. But I don't think even current Bungie, because you look at Destiny, Destiny doesn't have like a Forge mode. I don't even think it has custom games. It doesn't have a rank. Like, it doesn't have a lot of things that Halo doesn't have. And granted, it's a different kind of game. It's a looter shooter.
I think, because they're focusing on other stuff.
Yeah.
Like
they're focusing on raids and shit. But I don't think even current, but like, it's
let me ask you this. Which is right now, or over the last 5, 6, 7 years, which is the bigger game? And I'm not talking, because I know Destiny's on multi-platform. I got it. I'm not talking about sales. I got it. You know, a game that's multi-plat versus on just two-plat, I got it. I'm talking about by the strength of the IP as it's been over the last 7 years. Which is the bigger game, Destiny or Halo?
Destiny. Destiny. Okay. I don't think that. I think Halo can catch up, but they would need a battle royale or something, or Forge or something like that. But right now, yeah, it's definitely Destiny. Destiny is the best looter shooter. Like, it is the template looter shooter right now. Okay. Especially for multiplayer. Like, everyone that's making a looter shooter, you got to look at Destiny as like the template. Yeah, gotta be.
That's why Sony bought them. They did not get Bungie because of the game. They bought Bungie because they want expert advice on all their bullshit. These 10 live service games that Sony's about to drop. You know, Bungie's gonna have to give the quality control. Like, nope, delay it. Nope. Oh yeah, that one's ready. That one's ready. Nope, don't launch that one. Try again. Yep, that one's ready. That one's ready. That's pretty much it. You know, because they're not trying to keep their games exclusive either. So every game Bungie makes from here on out is still going to be on Xbox day one. They're not going to do nothing crazy to really make the Xbox version look bad. That's part of the deal. So really, Sony just bought expertise, so that way when they make their 10 live service games, hey Bungie, can you take a look at this? Are we on the right track? Should we just scrap this, start over, whatever? And I think that's all Sony did. Sony just got they permanently paid for consultation.
Yeah, and Bungie has done a good job building their own like fan base, hardcore fan base. I'll support them no matter where they go. I'm interested in the next game though. I think it's gonna be like a hero shooter, like an Overwatch type. I don't have like any Bungie. I don't have like any insider, but I could see it being like a Overwatch kind of like hero shooter kind of game. I could definitely see it being something like that.
Shout out to JFK TV. Quick point he made. He says Halo needs the No Man's Sky treatment. Low key. Facts. Because like No Man's Sky really changed, and for the better. Because when they launched, it was bad. And what is it? Sean Murray, I think his name was? The developer? He went into hiding.
Yeah.
He just disappeared from the net. Like, you didn't hear him for like a year. Like, he just kept quiet. And that man just went in the kitchen, started cooking. And next thing you know, he just came out one day, got updates, updates, and that game is worlds apart. It's actually, you know, the game is phenomenal now. So you're right, JFK. It does need the treatment.
Yeah, P-Rock, what I would say is the Halo IP, as far as just in the gaming space is concerned, I really think the franchise needs to reboot entirely, and that the only thing you really need to keep is Master Chief and maybe something like the Covenant, you know what I mean? But not a specific character. Like, it needs to be, you know how it's a little bit comical at times? Like, I really think they just need to take it in a dark direction. Something, I don't know, closer to Resistance or something. Because honestly, I don't see Halo with the sort of this, you know, you shoot aliens that laugh. Like, I just don't think that's going to carry any weight anywhere.
Do you think they should?
I just don't think it does.
Do you think they should do like a kind of like a God of War reboot? Not so much gameplay, but in attitude. Make it a bit more darker. Maybe a new alien race or something.
So, Sergeant X11 says that Halo needs a Anthem and Crucible treatment, infinite rest mode.
Oh,
so I actually do think I'm actually a fan of Anthem as far as what they were doing. Maybe they didn't have
what
the best
they attempted
execution.
to do.
Yeah.
Yes,
like,
I was too.
And granted, I'm not saying Halo needs to become a third-person shooter. I think it could still be an FPS, but it needs to become a dark and gritty thing. It just can't be this, I don't know, just thing that sort of langers and doesn't really know what it's trying to do. Okay. It needs to go, like, you know, back to an M rating. You know, let's get dark and gritty, bloody. You know, God of War would be a great example of that.
Give it a punch.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So it's interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's going to come down to the content, right? The additional content over the next couple of years. If 343 finds a way to update it with great content, then all this negative stuff is going to be a distant memory. Most people, I mean, again, I don't know if I mentioned it on this podcast, but I told people that, you know, people don't remember the original Fortnite and how bad it was. You know, they added Battle Royale mode, and years later through updates and blah, 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 is one of the biggest games in the world. Nobody remembers what Fortnite really was. And it's what it is, you know. People will forget. People will forget how bad Halo Infinite launched if 343 can provide the great content, great updates to change the game. But if their updates are half-assed and lackluster, oh my God. Oh,
and 6 month seasons, they got to change that shit. That ain't it.
They need to, at the very least, they I don't know how they didn't make, at a minimum, Forge the priority. Because I think Forge would be a good answer to keep gamers happy, because now the gamers are doing their own thing. So
you mean post-launch or before launch?
I mean like now. I'm surprised Forge is not a priority now to get that out as soon as possible, because at the very least with Forge, gamers could create their own custom matches, which will keep them entertained because they're doing their own thing.
You know what's funny? I agree with you, but you know why they're not prioritizing Forge? Because they're prioritizing fucking co-op. Oh, because people keep crying about co-op.
But you know what's funny? So I can understand co-op being a priority, but I would have prioritized Forge over co-op.
I would too.
Because the reason why is
they need
because you're gonna get people complaining, oh no, co-op cool. But I guarantee those people complain about co-op, they will still participate and play the games, because at least Forge, they can create stuff the way they like and they can entertain themselves. And you can use that as a smokescreen to fix other stuff. So that's why I'm surprised Forge is not the priority right now to get that.
I feel like more people complained about not having co-op than not having Forge. So 343 probably saw that and prioritized co-op. But they should have prioritized Forge, man. Fuck co-op.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's what I'll say about the co-op thing. They recently put out, you know, their new roadmap, and it's only saying network co-op. It doesn't say like local split screen co-op. So that's disappointing if they don't have local split screen, because I think that's.
But I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest. Who the hell is still doing local co-op in a game like Halo? Like who?
In a game like Halo?
Yeah, like how many people? Because listen, I grew up in that, and I ain't gonna say I grew up, but I was there when Halo co-op, you know, or local LAN play, Halo LAN parties. I was there. You know, because I had an OG Xbox. So I had my OG Xbox. I would bring it over to a friend's house. We would connect the 3, 4, 5 consoles. Yo, that shit was popping. I got it. But once Xbox Live and online gaming became pop, that shit started dying out. So like really, like is local co-op really a big thing? Now I'm not saying there's absolutely nobody in the world. I guarantee there's one person, you know, high up in the Himalayas that wants it. I got it. But is it really like a big deal? Like, is it really impactful?
Well, perhaps to you it isn't, but I would actually say there's a huge audience that would say it is a big deal. And if you're looking for proof of that, I would say look at A Way Out and It Takes Two. It Takes Two sold, 5 million plus copies. So that's basically 10 million players.
Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of them are married people. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of husbands playing with their wives. There's, I've seen it. You ever seen it?
I will admit that there's a more casual aspect to that, casual, which I think is good.
But we're talking about Halo. Like who? Like I'll be honest. Who the hell wants to play Halo in a split screen? Like, who really wants to have your screen in Halo now in 2022? Back in 2001, 2002, 2003, got it. But in 2022, like, we really want to play on half the screen? Like, who really wants that?
If you have a big TV, it's definitely something to do.
Yeah, I got a big TV. Let's say, like, right now my TV's 55-inch in my man cave. I want all 55-inch TV screen. Y'all nasty people in the chat, don't have a dirty mind. All right? I already know you guys. Right? We're talking about the TV. I want the whole TV screen. I don't want 25 or 26 and a half inches of TV screen. You know what I'm saying? Project is like, what the fuck?
I would say 55 isn't quite a large enough screen. I would say you got to have at least 65 inches, preferably 77 inches.
Of TV screen?
Or do it. Oh, yes. If you're going to do local Halo
there's some nasty people in the chat.
Yeah. Have at least a 65-inch screen, ideally more of a 77 or larger.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So, I don't... How about, B Staples? Is local co-op, is that a thing for you?
Hell no.
Yeah, you better be in your own house playing.
Yeah, I feel like we have evolved past that. I feel like that was cool in like Halo 1, Halo 2, but I mean it's 2022, man. People gotta have their own TVs. What's going on there?
Like go to the bedroom. I got a TV in the living room. Go to the bedroom. Or go to the back.
You can play on a phone, a laptop.
And then people screen cheat too. They be looking at your screen, knowing where you at, like cheating ass. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. Let me see. We got a super chat. Hold on.
I guess the way you can reconcile it is if you have two large TVs right next to each other with two Xboxes.
And then
if you have the network co-op, you know what I mean? You can do it that way.
You know one thing? I ain't gonna lie. One underrated thing I gotta say, I gotta admit, because the technology work. I was actually shocked, and I'm kind of disappointed that it didn't catch on. But when Sony created their 3D TV, the PlayStation 3D TV, and the glasses, right? Killzone 3?
Yeah.
Killzone 3. If you bought that TV and you had the glasses, right? So let's say, B Staples, you and my crib, we playing Killzone, right? For whatever reason, right? On that same TV, when we wore...
I know what you're talking about,
When you were wearing, like, let's say I had two, PlayStation 3D goggles and the 3D TV. B Staples, I will give you one, PlayStation, 3D, eyeglass. And I will have the other one. Through your 3D glasses, you will only see your screen. And through my 3D glasses, I will only see my screen. So it was literally split screen. We're both looking at the same TV, but the glasses were only allowed to see our perspective. Like, you couldn't see my perspective. Yo, that shit was crazy. You understand what I'm saying, B Staples?
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. I was like, yo, that shit was wild. I was like, yo, this is some crazy ass, like, local co-op. Like, so you don't see my screen, I don't see yours, but we're looking at the same TV. Yo, that shit was wild. I was like, yo, this is some great tech. And then, like normal, ain't shit done with it. Cloak, Onyx, about local co-op. There's a glitch to activate it. The feature is literally 75% done. Is it really? Do tell, Cloak Onyx. Do tell. Okay. All right. So, last topic. Sony preservation. All right. Let me read this. Let me read this article real quick. This might excite some PlayStation gamers, might not. But it says PlayStation has created a game preservation team, revealed by new employee. PlayStation has created a new team focusing on game preservation. Revealed by a new employee's Twitter and LinkedIn post, as spotted by Video Games Chronicle, the division will focus on preserving PlayStation IPs to ensure our industry's history isn't forgotten. Garrett Fredley said his new role of senior build engineer is one of PlayStation's initial hires for the newly created preservation team. PlayStation Studios Global Q&A manager Mike Bishop hired Fredley and said in another post, presumably about the same team, that the day-to-day focus is on IP preservation for the business, ensuring that titles of today are captured, cataloged, and secured for the games industry of tomorrow. With Fredley being an initial hire, the preservation team still appears to be in its early stages, but will seemingly focus on assuring the longevity of PlayStation games that date as far back as 1994 when the original console was released. PlayStation has shown a little more commitment to its retro library recently with the announcement of its new PlayStation Plus tiers, the most expensive of which includes access to hundreds of PS1, PS2, and PSP games. The tweet from Garrett Fredley, his @ is some Kranza guy. He said, "Today is my first day as a senior build engineer at PlayStation, working as one of their initial hires for the newly created preservation team. Game preservation was my first career passion, so I'm ecstatic that I get to go back to these roots." And that was posted yesterday at 8:44 a.m., whatever zone time it is. So let me ask you this. We'll start with Project. What do you think about that? Do you have any other info? But what do you think about this commitment to game preservation? And my second question, do you think Xbox and the way what they're doing got Sony in the game and be like, you know what, we got to take this more serious? Because remember, Jim Ryan did at one point say, who plays old games? We got to be honest. He did say that. So what do you think?
Yeah, so I think there's no doubt that Xbox has influenced PlayStation in this regard, and Xbox has shown from a business model that, hey, there actually is a way to increase your revenue by selling old games. You know, not every gamer is going to buy an old game, but if you, for example, I think a great title, is like Red Dead Redemption 1. If you never played that, go ahead and get it on the Xbox Store or buy the disc of it and play it backwards compatibility on Xbox Series X. It's super great to be able to say, hey, what were the great games of, let's just say from the PS3 360 generation onward, because that is actually the beginning of the HD era, which is more comparable to what we have now, at least. It's great to be able to just be like, yeah, this is a game that was reviewed well. I'm just going to go play it instead of having to be like, well, I need to go buy an older Xbox just to play this game. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's a fantastic thing. And as far as on the PlayStation angle, I think the way they're thinking about it more about is like getting on PlayStation Plus Premium. They want to get extra revenue out of that, and I think also to Jim Ryan's comment about who plays old games. Well, I think the fix to that is you upgrade those back compat games with higher resolutions, higher frame rates, VRR or whatever technical feature that you were talking
Trophy
about.
Support.
Sure, exactly. So there definitely are ways that they can actually make older games more appealing than just being kind of these, 720p or lower games. You can definitely enhance them and make them up to sometimes they're even basically a remaster themselves that they can turn out so good. So I think it's great PlayStation is doing this. I'm looking forward to PS3 titles being able to be downloaded or play from the disc eventually, as opposed to only streaming. I even want them to add the PlayStation Vita onto PlayStation Plus Premium.
I think that's coming.
Yeah,
I think that's coming.
I think it is.
There's no reason not to.
Exactly.
It wouldn't make sense not to, especially if they put in the PSP on there.
Right, and the PlayStation Vita is more compatible as far as the architecture with like a PS4. So No, I'm sure that's got to come at some point. I mean, I
Gravity,
think their
Gravity
goal
Rush
is
1 and 2
basically
was
everything.
actually playable on console, and those were originally Vita games.
Sure, and I'll even just say this too. So, Cloud Gaming just had a one-on-one interview with Hip Hop Gamer today, even just before this podcast. And I haven't finished listening to all of it, but they definitely talk about these features and how he was sort of the first guy to really talk about this in detail with quote unquote confirming it to us. In other words, just he's believing in the sources, and he's putting his name on the line as far as this is what's going to happen. So there's info going back to at least 2018 from him on this. So shout out to Hip Hop Gamer on giving us the inside scoop on this stuff.
Yeah.
And
so just to say, so just in case people don't know, so a couple of years ago, Hip Hop Gamer did leak and said that, talking with Sony, they're thinking of bringing back PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 games, and that there's potentially working on a kind of like a remastering engine for resolution boosts, improvements, frame rate improvements, trophy support, and that this was looking forward that Sony's really serious about taking care of their previous catalog. And I guess something happened and he got back, he got some, I guess it didn't happen, or the timing was off. And whatchamacallit, a lot of people gave him flack because when you're wrong, whatever. But what's crazy is he doubled down.
Yeah.
He said, no, this is what I heard, and I'm telling you guys, that's when I because normally, if a person was just faking information and you get the backlash, you usually go either dark or you apologize or you make up some excuse. He didn't do that. He doubled down. And I was like, oh, snap, Hip Hop Gamer. He even with all the stuff and the community backlash, he's like, no, this is what I heard, and they're doing this. He doubled down on that point. He did not let it go. And look at that, bro. The man, shout out, salute, bro. Salute to Hip Hop Gamer. You stuck to your guns. He's a real dude, man. He's not the type of dude to make up stuff just so he could get clout. He really believed in this. He trusted his sources, and he didn't, nope. He stuck by it, and now look,
right?
That's pretty impressive. And this was even before the PS5 launch. This was so this is at least 2019, at least, when he talked about this.
Sure. And I'll also bring this up too about him. So he is somebody that does tend to have these exclusive drops of info that other websites or journalists don't give him credit for, and sometimes he'll even contact them. I think he even called out Jason Schreier because Jason put out an article not too long ago telling us about the PlayStation Plus, tiers were going to be. Or if it wasn't him, it was Jeff Grubb or whatever. Yeah. But the point is, whoever it was exactly, or maybe it was even a bit of both of them, they're being contacted by Hip Hop Gamer to let them know that, hey, he was actually the first to start to put out this kind of information publicly. Yeah. But as far as I understand, they haven't really acknowledged that. And it's kind of where's the integrity in that, and it's unfortunate.
That's true. Man, shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. Yo, B Staples.
Yo.
So once again, Sony's taking their time. They're deliberate, right? They're building a whole studio for this. Is this potentially another situation where, Xbox made it a hot line, but PlayStation's about to make it a hot song? And do you even care? What's your take on this? I'm giving you the tough questions tonight, this motherfucker, bro.
Well, first and foremost, I don't really care.
I know what you. Yeah, I'm the same way.
I don't care that much about
I ain't trying to play
game
no
preservation.
I don't mind the preservation. Cool, whatever. But I ain't trying to play no PlayStation 1 games. There's a lot of nostalgia. A lot of nostalgia that people don't realize that if you go back and play some of these games, you're going to be like, I do not remember this game looking this bad or playing this bad.
Right.
It's because at the time, it was ahead of its curve. But we moved on. Better graphics, better stuff. So when you go back and play it, you're like, whoa, this is really rough. And I don't want to ruin some of the memories of these games. You know what I'm saying? I just leave it alone. Like if you like, let's say like Metal Gear Solid, I will not go back and play that game. That's not happening. If I'm gonna go play Metal Gear Solid, it has to be a full blown remake, and then I will mess with it. Parasite Eve, full blown remake. Legacy of Kain, full blown remake. I need these full blown remakes. If they're not full blown remakes, I'm gonna just leave them be. And I'm definitely not gonna play a game I never played before. Like if there's because there's always tons of games you never get around to playing, right? I am not going to catch up to PS1, PS2 games that I'm like, oh, I remember that game came out, I never got around to playing it. It's going to stay that way. Because my first experience of that game is not going to be in 2022, 2023. I'm not going to do it. It's going to be a different perspective because you got years and years of advanced gameplay mechanics and smoother frame rates, and no, I can't do it. Not doing it. So what's up?
Yep, definitely feel you on that. I'm not playing no old games. I'm not playing no game that I'm not even playing games that's not 60 frames. Like I'm done. You know
wait, Project Cloud's gonna have a conversation with you.
Unless this is a Nintendo is the only one because their hardware isn't good enough. But other than that, I'm done. I'm done with the 30 frames. I'm done with the 20 frames. I'm done. Like we evolved. It's time. You know what I'm saying? If a game has a 30 frame option and a 60 frame, I'm picking the 60 frame option every single time.
Well, Project Cloud said there should be no option. That 30 frame is great to get the graphics.
I didn't say that. Well,
I need the cap, Project. I need you to cap.
Yeah. Well, for me personally, like, you know, I love 60 FPS for a first-person shooter. It makes a lot of sense. It's just a bit easier to render compared to a third-person game. But third-person action adventures, honestly, I want to play them at 30 FPS. You know, I love great graphics, so I want, you know, as crisp and as good visuals as I can possibly get. So, granted, if for some reason a developer decides to make a third-person game that is at 60 FPS and there's no option to do 30, then obviously, you know, I'm going to be content with what they give me. But if I have the choice, I'm picking 30 FPS with the best graphics. And I'll even say this. I personally think that sometimes 60 frames is too fast. I think it works great for a shooter because you want to be, you know, very precise in general. But I think for a third-person game, it's honestly unnecessary and looks distracting to me at times. And I think it looks better at 30, being more filmmaking quality. So that's just my take on it, though.
Too fast. Boy,
yeah,
but come on, man. Yo, they're gonna clip that. Oh my God! Hey, everybody gets their clip, man. They're gonna clip that one. What do you mean by too fast?
Yeah, well, it's
too fast.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's even been like, you know, some films or whatever that have released like in 48 frames per second, and people complain that they just don't look right. And I'm consistent on that and say, yeah, it kind of doesn't look right in films, and it doesn't quite look right in games either.
No, films is one thing, right? Because I'm talking about in games. So like, what game doesn't look right going from 30 to 60? Like, what game wouldn't look right? Like if a game was 30 and then boom, put at 60, like, wait a minute. It looks worse.
I mean, I think a third-person action about like Uncharted, I think it should be at 30. Now, granted, I haven't necessarily played a game like that at 60 FPS, but I'm just telling you, like, I can tell when I'm looking at videos, it just doesn't look correct to me.
Isn't the remastered, the Uncharted, not the new one? What is it? Yeah, isn't the new remastered collection at 60? The one that's on PS5?
I think it has an option for 60, but you can still play it at 30 with higher settings or whatever. So
I mean, sure, you'll get the better fidelity. Or use Spider-Man, because that's a game between. So you play Spider-Man, right? Miles Morales or the original, the remastered. Have you played Spider-Man?
Okay.
So that's a good one.
Yes. So okay, so I'll give you this. I could see for the sections where you're swinging as Spider-Man, 60 FPS might make more sense, but that's because he's inherently a fast-moving character. Okay. But if I'm just walking around in an environment,
Ratchet & Clank. Drake, we use Ratchet & Clank. That's another good one because they have 60 frames options.
Yeah, I would still choose the 30 in that one because it's higher fidelity.
Okay. I mean, yeah, higher fidelity, but does the 60 frames look
I will
bad?
say this.
Does the 60 frames look bad? I think it looks great at 60 frames still.
Yeah. I will say, though, that at least is moving, because, granted, you're still walking around a bit, but there definitely are sections, for example, when you're just not just walking around, it's flying or,
yeah, that's true.
Skating or whatever, so.
I mean, but hey, at the end of the day, we got VRR at 120 hertz, so we playing at 100 FPS now. We gods now. PlayStation's gods now. We in God's territory. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Xbox is doing. B-Stable's going to have to figure that out. See,
P-Rock, the real question is, if you were to give me the exact same game with the exact same graphical settings on 60 FPS and 30 FPS for Uncharted, I'd still personally choose the 30.
Really? Well, okay, so let's say...
Yeah.
All right, so why? So graphics, maxed out, fidelity, 4K ray tracing, exactly the same.
Yeah.
The only difference is literally the frame rate. Why would you choose 30? Like, what is it about 30 that you're more comfortable with, or what is it? Is it a look?
I would say so. I mean, look, because like films, for example, they run at 24 frames a second. Yeah. And if you increase that to 48, I'm sorry, just in general, it doesn't look right to me.
Well, that's because you got the soap opera effect.
Right, and I'm saying that same effect, as far as I'm concerned, is still present in games at 60 that, for this particular category of games. It's just the way it looks to me. It's
really
5 frames, yeah.
Because because I've done tests, not tests, but I picked let's say for Ratchet and Clank is a perfect example. I chose the ray tracing option, at 40. Well, now it's 40, but at the time 30. Switched it. Then what I do is I just spin I just press right on the controller and let it spin around, and I could see it jitter as the screen spins around. And then when I 60 frames, there is no jitter. You just see the background nice and smooth. And I'm like, yeah, I'm playing at 60. Especially a game like you fight, let's say Neo in Neo 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You could definitely see the jittery when fighting. I'm like, holy shit, 30 frames is no.
Okay. So let me clarify my position. So in the quote unquote walking simulator games, that's where I think 30 frames per second works best.
Okay, walking simulators. So no high action, no Devil May Cry fast moving, just Nathan Drake trudging along. A couple of
just Naughty Dog's titles alone, basically, and God of War. I'd say that works to me as well. 30, yeah.
Really? Okay, yeah. Interesting. I would think, all right, interesting. Okay. All right. So, you know what? I think we hit all the topics. We're going to end it off with there. You know what I'm saying? So, to finish off the recap of the show, Xbox is doing great. Selling well. PlayStation got VRR and surpassing Xbox. B-Stables is pissed off. He's trying to figure out why his console's so weak, even though he paid $500. Project Cloud plays games at 30 frames no matter what. You know what I'm saying? 343 needs to be fired. And that's how we're going to end the show. Thank you so much for the new members that rocked out. Hit the like button. See you guys next week. I'll see if I could do some more content later on in the week. Truly appreciate it. Once again, membership is live. If you want to rock out with the fam, I'll truly appreciate the support. But hey, at a minimum, just hit the like button. Retweet this out. B Staples, what's good? We're going to find you. What game you playing?
Yo, right now I'm playing Saints Row 4. This game is horrible.
Is it? It's bad?
It is. It's horrible, but it's fucking, I don't know. It's brainless.
Whoa,
so I'm just playing it.
You can't treat Saint Row like Grand Theft Auto. You have to, it's like the opposite. You just have to play for the brainless. It's just, Saint Row it's not as well crafted like Grand Theft Auto. GTA, Saints Row is just pretty much like a sandbox, and you do just go crazy, do the most ridiculous shit, and then you
I'm basically just turning my brain off and playing
That's it. Just be numb and just enjoy the stupid shit. Project Cloud, what you got going on? What games you playing?
Battlefield 1 in 60 frames per second. So.
Nice one. All right. Hey, everybody, thanks for rocking out. This is your boy, your only friend, these YouTube streets, PorterRock77. Tune in next week once again for another 100 frames, VRS, VRR, all that shit podcast. We're out of here. You guys take care. Thank you for rocking out. You guys take care. Peace.